Hello, John. My name is Mike Davis. I'm from the Southern California section of the PGA. I'm here to help you with your Golf Digest Challenge swing analysis. I want to say thanks for participating and presenting your swing to us. Apparently, there was a little delay in getting this to us being the instructors, but regardless, I'm going to try to help you out, give you some things to work on. And I'm going to ask you a favor at the end of this and to do you some further justice. So there's your swing a couple times in full speed, regular speed. Obviously, you've looked at it. You obviously taken the time and the energy to go out and film yourself. Looks like you're in a fairly cold environment there. Looks a little bit like Bandon Dunes to me, but I don't think they have those tee markers there. I spend quite a bit of time up there. But regardless, what I'd like to do here, John, is here's my contact information on the left if you have any questions or comments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear that out of there, and I'm going to split this into an 8-frame sequence, okay? And number 1 would be in the top left. Your finish position would be number 8 down in the bottom right. And I'm going to just try to focus on a couple of areas. And the areas that I think are going to give you the fastest rate of return are going to be in sections 2 and 3. I think we get a little collapse of our lower body in there. And I think that might be the source of you moving a little laterally and getting ahead of the ball and pushing the ball with your tee shots. So let's go ahead and break this back out into full swing again. One big frame of you, and I do in the company do a really good job with your video here. A lot of times we try to take this giant frame, and if we cut it into thirds approximately, and you get your head right about barely into the top third, it's a really good perspective. So you did a great job capturing yourself there. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to put this into motion again, and what I'm going to do is, before I do that, I'm going to draw some lines. And I'm going to draw some lines through your lower body structure, especially your legs, across the top of your hips. And then I'm going to put a model next door to you. I'm going to use, let's see, I need a face-on view. How about we use Adam Scott? And I'm going to draw similar lines for Mr. Scott here, up through the knees, across the hips. We want to see how much structure we have during, throughout, and at the end of the swing. So I'm just going to let these play in slow motion. I'm sure that you will very quickly start to see some similarities and some differences. So we're getting through section 2, 3. We're now at section 4. And if I stop the frame here, obviously you both have moved off the ball a little bit. It happens quite a bit when you're shifting weight. The biggest thing that I see here, John, is I'm going to draw a line here in red, and I'm going to put it from one knee to your other knee. I'm going to do the same for Mr. Scott. He's got a lot more spacing in there. So essentially he's getting a more effective coil in his lower body. He's actually turning around a center point. And it's hard to tell from this camera angle, but I'm thinking you might be taking a little bit inside and over-rotating your right hip. So these are the things that happen. We need to try to get a little bit more spacing. I'm going to draw a circle in here between these legs. Your circle would be quite a bit smaller. So on the way down, let's see what happens. And as we come through impact here, his knee is just about in the same exact spot as it was. I'm going to put a black dot where his knee would potentially be here. Whoops, my bad. Hold on. Pilot error. Black dot. Front knee, and if we put you guys back to impact or address, you can see how yours is shifting to the left a little bit. So if you're shifting, that looks like could be 4 to 5 inches. If you're shifting 4 to 5 inches, effectively you're getting ahead of the ball, even though you have the driver in a front ball position. And if you get ahead of the ball is effectively behind you. You're trying to hit an object that's behind you, and everything else is behind: the club, the lag, the face, everything. So if all you're getting is a push out of it, you're a pretty good athlete. You're pretty good with your hands. Most people are hitting a big banana slice, a push fade, push slice from there. So the other thing that complements you, John, I'm going to draw another kind of a slender line here across your shoulders in white. And one with Adam Scott. You can see that your tilt is greater because of that front ball position. So you're doing a really good job squaring up your shoulders. I can't tell from this angle, but I would imagine that you got a good shoulder position there. So let's go back Let's go back to the top of the swing for y'all, and let's let this advance back through impact. And you can see how much lower body movement you've got, so much so that your knee gets even further outside. And with Mr. Scott here, I'll draw another one in yellow because that's the legs. Pretty shorted up pretty good here. Yours is clearly all the way out here. So we got a lot. I think we just got some looseness in your lower body. I think it would be very, very easy for you to remedy. So let me clear this up again, John. Not sure how much golf you play, how many lessons you've taken, or what your background is as far as the education in the golf swing, but you got great structure at the beginning here. I would recommend this. Let's say you got a basketball or a small exercise ball and you placed it between your knees like this, and you hit some golf shots that way. That is going to make your lower body very steady. You won't be able to collapse that knee in there. So when you get to this spot, you're going to be basically in the same area there. It's going to do a couple of things. If you imagine that your hips turn around like this on a very small tight circle, but your shoulders move on a very large circle, and the club moves on a bigger circle yet, well, this smaller circle with your hips, if that is outracing everything, the club and everything is going to lag behind. So effectively, if we can get you to get this big circle, which the club would go on, to go faster than the little circle that your hips go on, you're going to probably have a chance to get the club face square, maybe even to get a little draw going. I'm sure you'd pick up distance. I'm not sure how far you hit it, but I've never heard anybody complain that they hit it too far. So John, if I were you, here's what I would work on from the number 1 position to the number 3 position. If you could try to maintain this type of structure as much as you can during your backswing. If you practice with the ball between your legs, you don't even have to hit balls. You could do it in your house. You could do, if you did 20 to 30 reps a day, just the first 4 feet of your takeaway, you would start to get a feel of that, and you would probably start to feel more tension in this right hip, creating better coil. And your right knee, you want to try to keep your right knee inside your right foot. The other thing on your backswing, John, that was kind of jumped out at me, I'm going to magnify this. That's your left foot. I think I might be able to get a golf ball underneath that leg, at least a couple pieces of pizza. I mean, there's some spacing under there. If you can keep that thing planted, there's spacing in here will magnify, and I think you'll create better coil. So let's put this back to you on one side again. I'm going to put my info up here one more time if you want to contact me. A couple more things, John, just real quick. If we look at, I'm going to put this 1 frame before impact, and I'm going to draw a circle around this golf ball. And 1 frame after impact. I can't tell where the ball is. There's a blur right here, but that looks like where the ball went. If you can set your shutter speed on your camera higher if possible, it'll really give you better clarity. And I'll show you an example once again with Adam Scott. This is some video I took down at Torrey Pines a few years ago for the Buick Open. And no, I think this may have been at La Costa, pardon me. But if I draw a circle around that ball, and there's the ball again, shaft is very clear shaft, very clear ball. It will really help you when, obviously, you like to do some self-analysis. So set that shutter speed to 1/1500 or 1/2000. I think you'll get much better clarity on your video. And the other thing, John, do me a favor. Send me your video on a down the line angle, if you don't mind, because I think we can maybe tell a little bit more from what you're doing. And I think I would love to see that, because I think we might be able to get a little bit more for you to work on. And down the line would be you placing the camera somewhere back behind you in this area on the tripod, about waist high, and try to get it on your hands. Don't put it on your foot line or the ball line. Try to get it about halfway between. That's a much better angle for the plane. Okay, John, here we go. One more time, regular speed. Feel free to contact me, and I'd love to see your next video. Thanks, John. Good luck. Thanks for participating in the Golf Digest Challenge.